Welcome to the Shred the Spread podcast, episode 14, Preview Thursday. If you're new, thanks for tuning in. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. I am your host, Jared. And as always, on Preview Thursday, we are here joined by my man, Dynell, hottest man in sports gambling. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
What it do, baby? Let's rock, man. Let's go ahead and attack this week, bro. I mean, I looked at these spreads here this week. Yeah, they looking real rough around the edges today, man. But look, we gotta be sharp, right? We gotta go in sharp.
Hey,
We gotta be nice here. Let's go ahead and bring some money.
absolutely, man. Last 2 weeks, we've been extremely sharp. Last 2 weeks, we've both been profitable. Last week, I talked about it on Monday. Killed it, dude. Killed it, man.
Mhm.
This is definitely a tough week. We definitely have to be sharp. We have to read into these lines. Can't get drawn in. It's going to be a tough week, but we're going to get through it like we always do. For those of you who are new, Preview Thursday, we go game by game. We talk about the slate, and we break down some of these numbers. We give our early leans, really. Nothing official. So we've got several games to cover. Another slate where there's 2 4 o'clock games. I don't know what's going on with the scheduling, but we have the Germany game, first time NFL playing in Germany, several 1 o'clock games, and then 2 4 p.m. games, and then we will cover Sunday night football. We will not talk about Monday night football. That will be covered on the Monday podcast episode. But let's go ahead and let's just chop it up. You ready to get into it?
Yeah, but let me tell you something. You lucky ain't gonna be on that Monday podcast, boy. 'Cause you know I gotta talk my shit this week. I gotta talk my shit this week with y'all. You know we play Monday
Well,
night. Yeah, I know we play
yeah, I'm
Monday
an
night.
Eagles fan. Dino is a Commanders fan. So, I mean, let's be real. The Eagles are going to whoop that ass. No ifs, ands, or buts. You know, it is what it is.
Maybe.
All
Maybe. I ain't gonna hold you on that.
right, man. Let's get right into it. So, we have several teams with a bye this week. We have the Baltimore Ravens, the Cincinnati Bengals, and then we have the Patriots and the Jets. Those 4 teams have a bye this week.
Oh my goodness. All good teams. All good teams they usually bet on.
Yeah, solid teams this year. These teams all have a bye. So let's hop right into Thursday night football. The Atlanta Falcons are traveling to Carolina for a rematch. They're playing the Panthers. Panthers are 3-point home underdogs. The total for this game is 42.5 points. Man, the last time these teams played, it was ugly. The Falcons had the game in the bag. They were covering. They let up the touchdown at the end of the game to DJ Moore, tied the game up. DJ Moore took his helmet off. Eddie Pinheiro missed the game-winning field goal, or the game-winning extra point, I should say. They, in return, had to go to overtime. The Falcons won the toss. Mariota threw an interception. Panthers ran it all the way back to like the 25. Pinheiro missed the game-winning field goal. In return, Falcons marched downfield, kicked the game-winning field goal. So Falcons won that awful game by 3 points. I'll tell you what, dude. Immediately, the first thing I noticed in this game was the total: 42.5 points. We know
over on that?
prime time unders have been the trend, and you know, I don't know, dude. I don't see this game getting anywhere close to 42 points. Like, I am seeing another low scoring, ugly game. Falcons win by a field goal. I don't think I'm touching a side here. I think if the Panthers can get up to 3.5, that would be the side. Otherwise, I'm all over this under. Do you like anything from this game?
Yeah, man. I'm definitely leaning towards the Falcons -3 here. I mean, you know how when you sat back last week and you was just sitting there and you was just talking about the Bengals and you just said just don't overthink it. The Panthers suck. Honestly, I'm going to take that approach this week. I'm going to take the Panthers. I'm not Panthers. I'm sorry. I'm going to take the Falcons -3. I'm going to run with it. I mean, I don't see the Panthers dropping 30 something points as they did like they did the meeting. So honestly, give me the money. I'm gonna take the Falcons -3 on that. I feel like Cordero Patterson's back too on top of that, fully healthy. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with.
Okay, so wow. Actually surprised. Like I said, I think I like the under in this game, 42 and a half, especially after they just compete against each other. They have fresh film. Um, you know, the Falcons have been giving away games and the Panthers have been hanging around. Obviously, they just got obliterated last week versus Cincinnati. So I do think that plays a little bit of a factor into this line. Uh, let's be real. If the Falcons won this game last week against the Chargers, they should probably be like 4, maybe 4.5 point favorites. So you are getting a little bit of value on the Falcons if you do decide to take the Falcons. I'm not touching a side unless the Panthers get to 3.5. If the Panthers get to plus 3.5, I'm taking it just because these primetime unders have been a trend, and this just screams that the Falcons win by field goal. That's just the vibe I'm getting for this game. So I'll be
It
on
is a
the
division
under
game,
most likely. Yeah,
big
I'll be on
division
the
game.
under most likely prime time division. I don't see this thing getting too ugly, but like I said, I see the Falcons winning by a field goal. So I mean, you are on the right side, but if the Panthers get to 3.5, you have to bet the Panthers here. It's just a prime time under screams a field goal win. Take that half point value if you get it. I'm not sure if the line moves that way. Um, it doesn't look like it's very juiced. So if it stays put, I'll probably be on the under. Um, so that takes us to the fresh new look in the NFL. The Germany game. The Seahawks are the technically the away team. Obviously, they're both traveling, but they're facing against the Buccaneers. Buccaneers are 3-point favorites. And me and you talked about this earlier. The Seahawks have something called the 13th man located in Germany. It's
Yes, indeed.
the Seahawks are the most popular NFL team in Germany. For some reason, the Seahawks have bound this huge fan base over there. So this should,
I have
if
no idea.
the
I have no
reports are
idea.
true, yeah, if the reports are true, this should be like a home game for them. Um, Not that I'm saying that contributes to a lot, but here's what I do know. The majority of the bets right now are on the Seahawks. The majority of the money is on the Buccaneers. So the sharps are on the Buccaneers, but this isn't like a new situation. The sharps have been all over the Buccaneers the past few weeks. Last week obviously they pushed, but generally the sharps have kind of been going away from the Seahawks because they think the Seahawks are just due for this bad performance, but in actuality, the Seahawks team is pretty solid. Like we mentioned last week, they're the only other team besides the Bills that are top 11 in DVOA, all three categories: offense, defense, and special teams. Geno Smith, after throwing a awful pick six last week, back-to-back drives where they went down and scored points against the Cardinals. And not that the Cardinals are playing any tremendous, but the Buccaneers also are not playing on Buccaneers level that we expect. Technically a neutral location, but like I said, we have that huge fan base in Germany for the Seahawks. I mean, we have to take the Seahawks here, right?
No doubt. No doubt you gotta take the Seahawks here. I mean, let's just look at their opponent. Now, granted, you're not telling me that in the last 3 weeks the Seahawks have faced a team worse than the Buccaneers as of lately. And the Buccaneers have been on a terrible stretch. They got a pass last game playing against the Rams, who have no O line and still can't consistently find offense whatsoever. Tom Brady once again puts up 19 points. I mean, when we're talking about the Seahawks, we're talking about all around teams that's just well coached, very fundamental, and they go in and get the job done. They like you said, Tyler Lockett said it right there in the first. Isn't it fun when you can play the game and have success without worrying about who gets the credit? That's how they play. They play so together and so fundamental. It's to the point where how long is Vegas going to continue to sleep on the Seattle Seahawks? At some point, to be honest with you, I believe that right now you need to take advantage of the Seahawks while they have pluses. I mean, I've been raking in money taking Seahawks plus. Why would I shy away from it now against Tom Brady? Why? Because he's the GOAT. Everybody still expects his GOAT performance when his line isn't able to protect him, and I mean, granted, he has Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Leonard Fournette, but still can't produce more than 19 points against the Rams at the last point. Like, I don't, I can't get a grasp of the Buccaneers. And at this point, we're at not week 10. We're
Week
in week
10.
10. This is, guys, how long? I mean, how long are we going to continue to just expect Tom Brady to come out the waterworks? I mean, granted, it's Tom Brady. Tom Brady's gonna get into the playoffs. Okay, this division's bad. He's gonna get into the playoffs. So there's always something happening in the playoffs. But right now, it's week 10. This team doesn't even have an offensive identity. Are they a run team? Are they a pass heavy team? I mean, I'm pretty sure they're really a pass heavy team. But this team is not producing anything. They're producing sub 20 games.
Yeah,
3 points against the Panthers.
yeah.
You know, like, come on.
It's been bad. It took one of those signature Tom Brady game-winning drives last week to win that game, but in actuality, the Rams should have never gave the Buccaneers back the ball. They had a very poor offensive possession, had to punt the ball back to Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay, they haven't really been moving the ball all game. Tom Brady leads them downfield, scores a touchdown to Kate Otten, wins the game. It was very ugly from both sides. Like Tom Brady threw the ball 58 times last week. They got 27 rushing yards from Rachaad White and 19 rushing yards from Leonard Fournette, 4 rushing yards from Keyshawn Vaughn. I mean, it's difficult to win when you can't run the ball efficiently. And you know what the Seahawks do? They have Kenneth Walker, and they run the ball efficiency. Yes, he had a slow first half last week against the Cardinals, but in the second half, Kenneth Walker took over. He's big, he's physical, and he's faster than the majority of the people on the field, and he makes plays. Like
He does.
when
He really does.
when Geno Smith is consistently getting them in third and short, second and decent, they can hand the ball off and get consistent first downs, and they keep possession of the ball for a majority of the game. And you saw it last week against the Cardinals. Once Kenneth Walker got going, there was no stopping him. 26 carries for 109 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. And when Geno Smith is completing over 75% of his passes and he limits turnovers, the Seahawks team is extremely difficult to stop. And the worst part about it is if it comes to a shootout, which I doubt it will because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are not a shootout team anymore, the Seahawks will win that battle. They've put up the last few weeks, they just put up 31 against the Cardinals. Then they put up 27 against the Giants, 37 against the Chargers, and then the only really bad week they had was when they only put up 19 against the Cardinals, but they only lit up 9 points. 32 against the Saints, 48 against the Lions. This team consistently puts up points. So,
and you're giving me +2?
+3. The line is at +3 right now. You're giving me a whole field goal?
+3.
Holy
shit.
This is just a signature, this money, and the tickets. This is just, the Seahawks are due for regression because this is obviously showing
it's Geno Smith.
Right, Geno Smith. There's just negative. Like, we have to understand that, generally when quarterbacks age and they're around the game longer, they have more time to comprehend, understand the game, learn the offense, and this team believes in him. They're buying into the hype. Not only do the fans love Geno, the team loves Geno. They're surrounding Geno with, comfort and playmakers. Kenneth Walker is doing what he does. Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, Noah Fant even had a great week last week. Like, this team is clicking on all cylinders, and you would be a fool to take the Buccaneers just because you think the Seahawks are due for regression. If the Seahawks are in a neutral location and they have a shit ton of fans out there, why are we not taking the field goal? Why not? Like, why would you want to be on the other side and just hope that the Seahawks come down to this, regulated territory of where we think the Seahawks should be because of everybody wrote them off at the beginning of the season? The Seahawks team is actually solid. They have a chance to make a playoff run. We're not saying that they're going to win the Super Bowl, but they're a competitive team, and they're not a team you should ever count out. So the Buccaneers haven't been putting up points. Their defense hasn't been that amazing. They're actually letting up decent rushing yards. And if you let the Seahawks run the ball, it's a wrap. The Seahawks can win this
You already
game.
know what's going with that. You already know. You already know that, man.
So I think we agree here. I don't care what the Sharps are on. You have to take the points with the Seahawks. They're just cruising, and you would be a fool to get bit again by them. So, Seahawks +3. I'm not saying it's free because at the end of the day, the Buccaneers still have that talent and they still have that like repertoire of offensive players, but their secondary is
Understandable.
still a little banged up, and the Seahawks are healthy. So it will definitely be a great test to both teams. So this is actually one of like the entertain, like we always get those shitty London games. Germany's getting a show. You're getting one of the hottest teams in football versus one of the best, core teams, talent wise in the league. Tom Brady, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. Like it's going to be a show. It's definitely going to be a show. And I think this will be a big test for those rookie corners in Seattle. This will be a big test for them. So
Yeah, both primetime receivers. I hear you on that.
this will definitely be a very good game. But I think it's going to come down to, can the Buccaneers establish a run? And I seriously think that that's going to be an issue. I don't think they will. The Seahawks defensive line, they're not playing bad. They're not playing bad. So this will definitely be a good game to watch. I'll actually be up. I will definitely have some action on the Seahawks +3. But yeah, it's going to be a good game nonetheless. So let's move into the 1:00 games. Boy, I have a feeling we're going to be the opposite of this one because I have an early lean and it's ugly. But the Cleveland Browns +3.5
Browns
are heading to the Dolphins -3.5. The total for the game is 49 points. Boy, oh boy, does this yell Browns upset.
+4. You said upset. You mean upset in general, period?
Like Browns are the underdog. I think the Browns win this game.
Okay. All right.
This just yells Nick Chubb dominating the game on the ground, dominating the clock. They control the tempo of the game. If you get into a shootout with the Dolphins always find a way to put their team in position to score. Tua is distributing that ball to Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle consistently. 20 yards after 15 yards. I mean, the team is just flying downfield. But the Browns have the identity to run the ball down the Dolphins' throat, and the Dolphins are 27th in DVOA run defense. 27th against Nick Chubb, who can literally carry a team on his back. And not to mention, we still have Kareem Hunt. When Nick Chubb's out of the game, there's just Amari Cooper's not playing bad. Donovan Peoples-Jones. I don't know, dude. I know it's in Miami, but this just has Nick Chubb doing whatever he wants to do to this Dolphins defense written all over it to me.
I hear you. Good analysis, because I really do like it. If the Browns want any chance of winning this game, it all starts with time of possession, and of course, you got to run the ball effectively to keep, for time possession wise. The more you keep it away out of that offense's hands, the better off you are. Okay, like you said, that defense is definitely took a big hit last week. They just linked up a record amount of rushing yards for a quarterback at 184. Shout out to Justin Fields for breaking Michael Vick's record. And excuse me. And what was the total rushing yards for that game? I mean, Fields alone had 187, which is absolutely ridiculous. So I already know the rushing totals of that game. Yeah, I believe. Excuse me.
The Bears,
I believe it's over what?
Because Justin Fields,
270?
yeah, Justin Fields on the ground had 178. David Montgomery had 36, but he only had 14 attempts.
Right.
So, they ran for over 240 some yards.
Yeah. And granted, here's what I'm gonna say with that too. And granted, what I will say is this: the Bears have been doing that recently to everybody. Justin Fields has been running all over defenses, 100 yards games like a couple weeks ago, rushing raw. But man, like you said, it screams Nick Chubb all over the ground, man. Like this is the game that if the Cleveland Browns want to win, if the Cleveland Browns are going to win, they got to take advantage of that run defense, and they got to play time of possession. If you don't play time of possession, and you give this team too many opportunities to go down and score, they're going to light you up. They're going to light you up because your offense can't hang. Let's be honest. Your offense really can't hang. I don't see the Browns putting up over 27, 24, 30. So I like that. I like the +1.5 because because honestly, let's be honest, the 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 Dolphins don't cover spreads whatsoever either. They get in shootouts, but they're always close. They did give up 32 points to the Bears. That's
Yeah, 35,
you know
32.
what I'm saying. So like they about 32. So that's a tough one. Honestly, like I said, I would leave it alone. But if I were to lean, I would take my shot with the Dolphins. I would honestly take my shot with the Dolphins. I like your recipe because that's the recipe they're gonna have to follow, and that's a great flaw there to really make that game close. And I'm glad you pointed that out. But for some reason, I'm thinking Dolphins covers this on here. That's what I'm leaning towards.
See, it's the hook that gets me because like I definitely could see the Browns win this game. And you're right, the Dolphins get in these unnecessary shootouts with these teams that are subpar. Like they got in a shootout with the Lions, didn't cover. Uh, you know, the Jets kind of, but I mean that was with Teddy Bridgewater. But they get in the shootout with the Chicago Bears because they can't stop the run. And what team runs better than the Bears? Almost the Browns. So it's just like, you know, the defense is tired. I mean, they're coming off a physical game where this was just a battle at the line of scrimmage. And truthfully, they got dominated. If Tua didn't go out there and have a tremendous game, threw for 300 yards, 21 of 30, uh, it just it just screams that like the Browns, it's just like a recipe for disaster. Like, are the Dolphins really prepared to go out there and after chasing around Justin Fields, now they're chasing around Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt? Justin Fields can't run you over, but Nick Chubb definitely can, and he'll pick you up on his damn back and drag you to the end zone. Like, I just think this will be a long, physical game for the Dolphins defense. They already just chased Justin Fields around all last weekend. Um, I don't know, man. It's just I think a lot of people are going to be on the Dolphins, and I'm not going to be surprised if the Browns somehow pull this game out. The total
Oh,
set at
me neither.
the total set at
Go ahead.
49. The total set at 49, so there's going to be some points in this game. And, I don't see the Dolphins running away with this shit just because of how piss poor their rush defense has been this year. Like, it's really been let down. And, if they get in a shootout, generally when the Dolphins are in a shootout, they don't cover the spread. So that's why I think I'm really on this Browns plus 3.5. It seems like a good number. It seems like a really good number. Um,
Yes, indeed.
but we have another defensive rush game. The Broncos are traveling to the Titans. Titans are 2.5-point home favorites. The total for this game is 36.5 points.
36. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't remember 36. I don't remember seeing 36 in a very long time.
Dude,
I seen 39, but
36 is
36 is crazy.
bad. 36 is
That's
bad,
disgusting.
man. Like, this is a bad. This is Army versus Navy, service academy, college football, like where it's 10-7. Uh, you know, and like a couple weeks ago, like I mentioned, I love taking these Broncos unders, and the fact that I'm even contemplating this is disgusting because 36 points is, oh my god. I don't know why I'm so drawn to it. Like, these just okay, hear me out. The Titans are going to try to run the ball down the Broncos' throats. The Broncos' rushing defense is incredible. So it's going to be Derrick Henry versus an
Mhm.
incredible rushing defense all game, and it's going to be a battle of field position. Like, 36 points is low, but I don't think it's low enough. I just don't think the books can physically put this number lower than 36 without it being like, you know, too low. Um,
Right.
I don't know, man. Like, for some reason, I also am looking at like I did like the Broncos +3. It dropped to +2.5. 2.5 is a little bit scary because like the Titans could easily punch one in late, and it's games like 13-10. Like, I don't know, dude. The Broncos have just been so like they've been iffy on offense. Like, you never really know what you're gonna get. Like, you know, ever since Javonte Williams went down, like Melvin Gordon has been running into some issues. They're running out Mike Boone out there. Like, It's just you don't really know what this Broncos identity is. Like we keep saying Russell Wilson is due for a huge game, but like truthfully, do we even see this coming? Like this Broncos offense just might be really, really bad.
Yeah, and they are. I mean, and Russell, you already know how I feel about Mile High Russ. Let's ride. You already know how I feel about that, man. There's going to be one game where he eventually just snaps off. I don't know when it is because he still has those pretty nice weapons out on the outside. He still has he still has an offense to the point where if Russ plays like Russ, he can drop 27. He can drop 30. Do I believe this is the week? No, but I'm not risking it. This is definitely honestly no. The Titans defense is honestly they deserve credit because they definitely held Patrick Mahomes to what 17 points and lost. I'm sorry, 20 points. Lost to 20 points and lost. And that's what I'm saying. That's remarkable. That is so remarkable. And I don't think I can't see Russ performing better than what he's done all year round. Just like how I keep saying that, hey, Tom Brady, Tom Brady isn't living up to where he's supposed to be, and stop banking on it. Well, maybe I need to stop banking on Russ having that big game. I need to just kind of bet with my heart here and just get what's going on with the gut feeling. Don't overthink it. Honestly, that Titans minus 2.5 is enticing. I honestly believe that defense can legit hold the Broncos to 3 field goals. Honestly, 3 field goals and then 2 touchdowns. It's an easy low number. I believe I would agree with you. It's going to be a low scoring game, but I'll also take the fact that the Broncos won't score a touchdown this next game too. So if I'm taking a side, I would take the Tennessee minus 2.5.
Yeah, so 36 points is extremely low, but the last 5 games, the Titans have all went under. For the Broncos, the last 5 games besides one, the Broncos have also went under. So in the last 5 games, the Broncos are 4-1 to the under, and the last 5 games for the Titans, 5-0 to the under. So, I mean, it's just screaming, come get me. And I did want to put some action on this line at 39 because it was at 39. I couldn't pull the trigger. I didn't think this number would get any lower than 39, and we're sitting at 36.5. Like, dude,
like I said, that's the lowest number all year.
That's 20-16, which that sounds like if I put a 20 next to the Titans and 16 next to the Broncos, that sounds too high. That seriously sounds too high. Like, I think truthfully, I see like a Titans like 17-13. I think if I had to guess the score, it would be like Titans 17, Broncos 13. Maybe even Broncos 12 where they just kick field goal 4 times. Like, I don't know, dude. I don't know where this offense comes from for the Broncos. And after the Titans just stood up the Chiefs last week, like, I don't know. The Titans defense isn't bad. The Broncos defense is really good, and it's going to be Derrick Henry versus the defensive line of the Broncos. And as long as Derrick Henry doesn't bust 2 big gains, like, this is going to be a slow. The clock's going to continue to run because there's going to be so much rushing offense. The clock is going to continue to, tick, 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 tick. And, it's just going to be, can we hold off for 36 points? And as sick as it sounds, I'll probably be on the under for this game. It's so low for a reason. It's so low. And I just don't think the books can physically put this number any lower than 36 without it being, ridiculous. So definitely an ugly, probably, I won't even have this game on. This is going to be one of the least entertaining games of the year because you're just going to see a battle of the clock versus, who can get a touchdown here and there. So Broncos and Titans, probably one of the ugliest games of the year. There's going to be like 0 offense. Titans probably pull this one off, but it's going to be low and ugly. And we'll see another Russell Wilson sits at his locker for 40 minutes with Nathaniel Hackett after the game, shoulder pads and eyebrows still on, looking at each other in the face. Like, yeah, I don't know, dude. That Broncos, they need to figure it the hell out because, that team should be putting up points. They have a lot of weapons, but let's move on to the division rival, Lions and Tigers and Bears. Oh my. Total set at 48.5. The Bears hosting the Detroit Lions. The Bears are 3-point home favorites. Dude, why are the Bears not -5, 5.5? Why is this
No
line
idea.
not higher? Why is Vegas so hesitant to adjust to Justin Fields? No pun intended. Why is he continuously getting better week by week, but we don't see a reflection on the spread? We're on this. I mean,
That
call me crazy, but there's no way there's no way we don't take the Bears here, right?
right. Look, that's I mean, but then again, that's Vegas's mo. Vegas has been doing it all year long. Same thing with Tom Brady with the Tom Brady's favorites the last three to four last couple of weeks. Like, come on now, really? This is what they do. They stick to their guns. Same thing with Geno Smith. Geno Smith plus every single week the past 3 to 4 weeks again, and they are hot putting up points. If to a Buccaneers team that doesn't pick up points, I mean, they've been doing this. They stick to their guns. And you know what? I give them props for it. I'm going to give you credit. Just let me take that money. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to rob you. I'm going to rob you real quick while you just sit there and look dumb. So, yeah, honestly, you can't go against the Bears -3 here. Obviously, you've seen what they're doing. Justin Fields is blossoming before our very own eyes. He is blossoming in our very own eyes. Still got ways to go as a passer, but man, he's electric. He is so electric. The Lions are on the road. You know what I'm saying? They're not at home where they put up massive points. They're on the road against a ruckus Chicago crowd who has a little bit of hope now. That Chicago fan base has a little bit of hope now. And you thought when they traded away Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn that this team would kind of die down, take another down year, and just kind of rebuild. But one thing I will say is if that's what they're doing, the result of what's coming out of it right now is very, very eye-opening and a breath of fresh air. Like at least you can see that your franchise quarterback is possibly looking like a star. I mean, we haven't seen a rush performance like that since Lamar Jackson. We all knew what Lamar Jackson's into. So I'm gonna give the Chicago Bears their flowers here. They have definitely improved since the time they played the Commanders. Because, like I said, when that Commanders game, I said, "Come on, man, they're the Bears." I'm taking Commanders money line, and I almost lost that game. I should have lost that game. I should have lost that bet, but I'll take it. And this team has definitely improved, and I love what I'm seeing. I love what I'm seeing. They're still playing competitive football, and I love it.
So the Lions are bottom 3 every single category against the run. The Bears are top 3 in every single category for run efficiency. I don't care that the Packers just put up 9 points. This Bears team has an identity. They are going to run the ball down your throat, and if you stop David Montgomery, then they're going to start drawing up specific rushing plays for Justin Fields. And they're looking good doing it. They're at home. Like you said, this Bears team has some hope now. They're rallying behind the troops. This Lions team only puts up big numbers at home. They seriously do. We were talking about it the last few episodes. The Lions team, for some reason, at home are buzzing. When they're on the road, they lose their identity. They lose their. It's like they're a completely different team. DeAndre Swift's still banged up. They're dealing with some offensive injuries, which is huge. I just see the Bears controlling this game on the ground, and they cover the spread. And this, I wouldn't be surprised if this game gets ugly. I seriously would. I seriously would not be surprised if this game gets ugly and the Bears win by like 10 to 13 points. Bears are a better team. They have an identity, and Justin Fields is just getting better week by week. And I don't see it slowing down, especially against this Lions team where they can't stop anything on the ground. So let's go to this is a good game. This is a good game. I don't care what anybody says. This is going to be a pros versus Joes. And that is the Texans heading to New York to play the Giants. The Giants are 4.5-point home favorites, and the total for this game is 41. I don't know if I need to be talked out of it, but I don't know why. I am tempted, very, very tempted, to take the Texans plus 4.5.
Man, oh man, look. Let me tell you something. You might have to sit alone on that one. But at the end of the day, too, I'm not taking the Giants -4.5 either. They don't cover spreads. They don't cover spreads, man. Like this team is built on running the ball and just dominating time possession when it gets to the point and delivering the moments when when it matters most. Like you said, you already know the differentials. The fourth quarter is their strong quarter, and it, this Texas team is sneaky. That performance by Damian Pierce against the Eagles was very inspiring. That opened my eyes up to really how good this brother really is. That man is a monster. He's he's really produced offense. He's the only production of offense, damn near, man. And you're right. Like this can be a like a very low key sharp play here. Like I said, the Giants don't cover spreads, and this Texas, like I said, like Damian Pierce and that Texas offense, man, if they can get going with the run game early and keep the time possession rolling, you're going to see a nice ran out. This might be a quick game this weekend. Like this might be one of the fastest games to get done this weekend, just because the teams just love to run the ball here. So I feel like it's going to be a close game. I am not disagreeing with. I will say I will disagree with your plus 4.5, but I'm not going against your 4.5, man. I'm going to stay away, but I would lean towards the Giants minus 4.5.
See,
Just
I don't know, dude. Like Damian Pierce is the real deal,
real
and
deal.
the Texans, like that game versus the Eagles, it never really got ugly. Like they were always hanging around, and not necessarily hanging around like to compete to win the game,
You got that
but
right.
like the covering wise, they didn't have Brandon Cooks, which obviously is their biggest playmaker in the air. Um, so they stayed around that margin of spread differential pretty much all game, and they end up covering. And a lot of people, myself included, had the Eagles kind of blowing them out the water. Um,
I did.
Damian Pierce keeps him in the game. He several runs where he's slippery and he bounces off defenders and he gets first downs. And like the trends just show that Daniel Jones for some reason doesn't play well at home. He is like a road quarterback. It's ironic. But it's just going to come down to, can the Texans stop Saquon? And is Daniel Jones going to have a decent game? Like the only thing that does scare me is the Giants are coming off of a bye. But on the flip side, the Texans have an extended rest because they played Thursday. They didn't play Sunday. So they got like,
They get 10
you know,
days.
yeah, they got extra few days. I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be another ground battle. Like I think it's gonna be. I really don't know what the score is gonna be. And that's my difficult read on this game. Um, it's definitely not one of my favorites. This most likely won't make it into my picks for the week. But the Texans plus 4.5 just seems like it seems sharp. 4.5 at home for the Giants. I don't know why that number feels so big, but at the same time, the 4.5 for the Texans feels really, really short. Um, I'm with you. I'll probably end up staying away, but like, I don't know, man. Something about that 4.5. We're getting over the magic number of 2, 3, and 4. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll probably sprinkle it this weekend, but I don't think I'll make it one of my official picks. I think I'm buying too much into the Damian Pierce hype, and he keeps that offense afloat. I gotta give him credit. He's the guy's the real deal.
Definitely is,
Um,
man.
this another dude. This week is so difficult. Just going game by game. I'm just like, I'm going down our list of our checklist of games we're going to, and I'm just like, okay, let me see if I scroll down to another game that's going to be a little bit easier to cap, and then we run into this one: Jaguars at Chiefs. Chiefs 9.5 home favorites. Total for this game is 50.5. Well, we hit it right on the head last week. Patrick Mahomes, large spread, doesn't cover. That was the Titans. Now we've got the Jaguars coming into town. Another home game for the Chiefs.
Sheesh. In
Chiefs
Arrowhead.
9.5 point favorites. Jaguars seem to get it together the second half of the Las Vegas game, but damn, did they look bad the first half. Um, I don't know, man. I seriously don't know. Like this you could easily see the Jaguars hanging around this game. I don't think the Jaguars win. I don't think the Jaguars in any realm win this game. Could I see them hanging around? Absolutely. The Jaguars are the king of hanging around but losing games. Could we see the Chiefs finally blow someone out by 30 points? I think if it's any week, it's this week. The Jaguars just won, okay? when we got to remember going into last week, when teams scored 11 or more points against Trevor Lawrence, he was 1-11 or 1-12. The Jaguars let up 12 points, obviously, last week, and they won. So now, when teams put up 11 or more points, Trevor Lawrence is now 2-12. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. The Chiefs team is putting up more than 11 points. I would bet my kidney on that. Uh, what do you think happens in this game, dude? I could see both things happening. What's your read?
It's my read is my read is everywhere. I don't know what to pick. I honestly don't know what to pick. I mean, I love Patrick Mahomes at Arrowhead. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I love it in that raucous crowd at Arrowhead. The Jaguars have been struggling to really kind of get it going consistently. I can't even. I mean, they ran into a bad Raiders team. Okay, they ran into a bad Raiders team. They was down 20-0. What 20-0 and ended up winning 27-20, something like that. 27-24. I'm sorry. I mean, the Jags have heart. Like you said, they do stay around games. I will give you that. The one thing, like I said, the one thing I loved about that Titans pick last week is the fact that it was plus 12.5, and it was that Titans defense, and they damn near won that game. I don't know how I exactly feel about that Jaguars defense. I mean, they still have some good pieces on that defense there. Josh Allen, be on the front and everything, but I don't know. I guess I have to see a little bit more consistency to follow up with that. But I am actually staying away from this game. I'm actually staying away from this game. But if I have to pick a spread, oh boy, Lord, I'm gonna take Patrick Mahomes in 8.5. They're gonna get the points. They're gonna get the
Nine and a
yardage.
half. It's
I'm
nine
sorry,
and a
sorry,
half.
9.5. Sorry about that. Even if that 9.5, even if it was at 10, I would lean towards Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
You know what's really throwing my head on a swivel is the Titans were plus 12.5 and the Jaguars are plus 9.5. That's what's really
Throwing you off,
throwing
right?
me. It's
Mm-hmm.
throwing me a curveball because I think the Titans are better than the Jaguars, even with Malik Willis. Like if the Titans play with Malik Willis against the Jaguars, I'd probably
I'm
lean
taking the Titans.
Titans.
Yeah, I'll lean Titans.
That's what's throwing me off. And I think that's why I'm probably staying away because like I'm getting a shorter number on the Jaguars than the Titans when the Titans have Derrick Henry who can keep you in any single game regardless of the spread.
Right.
Who do the Jaguars have? ETN? ETN can't. I'm sorry. He is a very talented running back, but he is nowhere near in the same category as Derrick Henry. He is not like he is a workhorse, but he is not a physical workhorse. He's more finesse. He's slippery. He can get outside and catch passes. Trevor Lawrence, he's not necessarily a game manager. He makes bad reads. He's an immature quarterback, and against a very talented defense, and scheme wise, they'll throw different looks at him and make him make mistakes. That's what makes me nervous about the spread. Because immediately I was heading into this, like, Patrick Mahomes against a large spread. He usually doesn't do that well. But I'm getting the Jaguars at a shorter number than the Titans with a quarterback who's actually going to throw the ball. Like Malik Willis doesn't throw the ball. We're going to get Trevor Lawrence who actually throws the ball. When you have an immature quarterback throwing more volume and passes, he has more opportunity for turnovers. And I feel like this is where Trevor Lawrence kind of gets eaten up by a solid, solidified defense. And, if the defensive coordinator schemes some stuff up to throw different looks at Trevor Lawrence, I think he's going to make mistakes. And I think covering 9.5 for the Jaguars might be a little bit too steep. I could see the Chiefs easily hopping out on the Jaguars 21-0, especially if they get the ball first. If you can get the Chiefs to score first and get a stop, they could easily score again. This Jaguars defense is nothing crazy. I think this, like I said earlier, I can see both sides of the story. I can see the Jaguars hanging around. I don't see the Jaguars winning at all. I think they have like a 1% chance to win this game. I see the Jaguars potentially hanging around, but I also see this could be the week where Patrick Mahomes blows the brakes off this Jaguars team. Especially if the Jaguars coming off of a win, I could easily see a game where the Chiefs put up 40 points. Um, yeah, I don't know, dude. This is another tough game. I'll probably be staying away. This most likely, this will definitely not be in my picks this week. Let's just say
Right.
that, and I think
Right.
I can
Yeah.
speak for Dino too.
Yeah.
There's no way in
Yeah.
hell
No
we
way in
put
hell.
we put this. This is a difficult game. I'll probably I'll watch it. I'll probably check on it. Patrick Mahomes will probably throw for 400 yards, like I expect him to. But I don't know, man. I'm not seeing this game clearly, like I have been. Um, let's loot. Okay, this next game is difficult. The Vikings are heading to the Bills. Bills are 3.5
Ooh.
home favorites. The total for this
Uh-huh.
game is 43.5 points. Okay. Yesterday, I wanted to bet the Vikings at +6. And the reason being was we were getting this news about Josh Allen. He was potentially not playing, slash, he would be limited, slash, he wouldn't play, blah, blah, blah. So the line has moved all the way from 7 where it opened down to 3.5 in a day and a half. Okay. This line trending this way kind of tells me that Josh Allen isn't going to play because let's be real, Vegas will know if he plays or not before the public does. Um, we've lost 3.5 points on this game.
Damn.
I loved the Vikings at +6
Oh
just
my God, I
because
did too. I did too.
it felt good even with Josh Allen playing. But now we're getting this Josh Allen injury news. So this is just too early to tell because if I had to guess, this line is telling me Josh Allen is not playing. Because I don't think we would have this dramatic of a drop off in the number if there was a real possibility that Josh Allen is playing. But let's be responsible. Let's make sure Josh Allen is playing or not before we get action on this game. The number has already moved this much, okay? There's no reason to jump on it right now if we don't have solidified information.
Right. Wait it
Because
out.
if we get Josh Allen in, I could easily see the Vikings getting back to 4.5, potentially 5, because I think this line just screams Josh Allen isn't playing. Because when are we going to get the Bills coming off of a loss -3.5 against the Vikings, who the Vikings are fraud coverers? They don't cover for some reason, or if they do, they freaking get lucky and cover. Shout out Taylor Heineke. God damn, that was such a bad cover.
Push.
Um, but yeah, this is definitely a wait for it. But if this line gets the Vikings +5, even with Josh Allen in, I mean, that's very, very intriguing. It's very intriguing, especially if Josh Allen isn't 100%. Cause let's be real, this Bills team doesn't have a this Bills team does not have a rushing identity if Josh Allen doesn't play. Who the hell is going to run the ball for them?
You can't
Hines?
shoot.
Like
Well, yeah.
Singletary? I
Yeah.
mean, you
Right.
just you take out the Josh Allen, quarterback draw threat, and this team is just. I think they're going to be flat on the running game, and then I don't know, dude. I don't know if Josh Allen is out. You kind of have to take the Vikings, man. Like they got he started get Kirk Cousins started getting back on track with Justin Jefferson last week. You got T.J. Hawkinson who had a good game, and then you still have Dalvin Cook. Like there's a lot of weapons. Now, this Bills defense obviously isn't a pushover. They could win a game by themselves, but I don't know, man. Like I said, I think you're on the same boat. We got to wait till we see if Josh Allen is playing or not because we're just gonna we've already lost the value in the line from the line moving so much. So, there's no way we hop on this game. We definitely have to wait to see if Josh Allen is playing or not because like looking at this number right now, I mean, can you even take a side if you don't know if Josh Allen is playing or not?
Nah, you can't. You can't. Cause look, let me break it down to you, right? So you ever bought these one of those like those dining room lamps? I'm sorry, not dining room lamps, like those living room lamps with like 8 bulbs, 9 bulbs in them, right? So there's a big old light, right? And the bulbs, right? The bulbs are basically all the pieces the Bills have. Stephon Diggs, right? Gabe Davis, Devin Singletary, Naeem Hines, and then you can do the defense, Von Miller, all of them. All those shiny, nice new pieces. Let me tell you something. Those might be the bulbs, but Josh Allen's the light. Josh Allen provides that light. Without that light, those bulbs don't glow. I don't see this Bills offense operating nowhere near at the performance they can. The running, like I said, the running game is already bad enough as it is with from the running back position. If you take the threat away from the quarterback, now it becomes even more of a of a burden. You know what I'm saying? Like even like I remember Devil Singletary against the Chiefs had a couple good runs. Why? Because of the threat of Josh Allen. Now you take that away. It's tough. And honestly, whew, it's tough. Like this spread is now tough. Like I said, going down to minus 3.5. Anything can really happen. Honestly, I love the Vikings. Don't get me wrong; they can't cover spreads, but that's because that's the result of the West Coast offense, the way they operate, the bootleg, the play action. I've seen it in Washington. All right, like I said, I've seen all this offense before. And here's what I'm gonna say to you: that T.J. Hawkinson trade they made is gonna serve them wonders, and you've seen it first game in against the Commanders, man. If there's one thing I know about Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins loves a good or great tight end. So tell me this, Jared, right? Do you remember when Kirk Cousins got drafted in 2012 with Robert Griffin III and he eventually took over at like his third or fourth year?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who his leading receiver was for the two full seasons he played in Washington from 2015 to 2017?
Oh my god, it was oh my god, don't tell me. It was the tight end for the I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Come
You're gonna
on.
say it, I'm gonna get so mad.
Come on. Yeah, you are. 'Cause he was a fantasy machine. He was a machine.
God, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank.
Come
Literally he's
on.
pictured in my head. Like he is pictured in my head.
You see a light skinned brother?
Yes. Oh my god, why am I drawing a blank? Okay, give me a hint.
All right, so let's see. What should I do? What should I say? What should I say? His number is 86. I don't know if that kind of helps a lot because sometimes when you get the number, sometimes you get the
God.
name. No. All right, let's see.
Um, God, dude, I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue, and I'm gonna be so mad when you say it. I'm
I'll
gonna be
give you the
so
initials.
mad.
Jr.
Jr. Jr. Jr. Jr. Jr. Jr. Jr.
Come on, man.
Um.
He torched y'all. He torched everybody. I ain't gonna lie to you. He kind of torched everybody. He
Oh,
was that.
Jordan Reed. Jordan
There you
Reed.
go.
That's what
There
it
you
was.
go. Ding, 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 ding.
Gosh,
You know
dude,
what's
dude,
so funny?
listen, I was trying, listen, I was not going to say this guy, but I'm thinking of trying to picture Jordan Reed, right? And you know whose picture keeps popping into my damn head while I'm trying to figure out Jordan Reed was the tight end? You know who I keep seeing in my head, but I just it almost kept coming off my tongue was freaking Vernon Davis, dude.
I I
I
kind of
kept,
figured you was
dude.
gonna say Vernon Davis.
I was literally trying to figure out Jordan Reed, and I just see a picture of Vernon Davis smiling in the back of my head, and
Go
I'm like,
ahead.
shut up, Jared. It's not Vernon Davis. Think, think, think. God, I'm so
Yo,
glad I didn't say
yeah,
that
we
because
got
I knew
him.
it was
That
Jordan
was
Reed.
prime. That was
God,
old. That was old Vernon Davis too. Well, one thing I will say,
God.
they did have a connection. They did play. They both did play. They did both play in Washington and San Francisco. So I kind of get that you can make that
Oh
correlation
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Um, but Jordan Reed was an absolute monster, and when Kirk Cousins left, so did Jordan Reed's production. Um, in 2015, right? Guess how many games Jordan Reed played? Remember, Jordan Reed had an injury history. All right, everybody
God, the
knows
dude was
Jordan Reed.
banged up every other game.
Yeah, banged up every goddamn.
2015, Jordan Reed probably played 8 games.
You know what's so funny? You're exactly on the ball. 8 games started. Do you want to know how many receptions he had?
Jordan Reed in 8 games had 74 receptions.
74. Is that your final?
Yeah, that's my final.
That's your final? What if I told you that in 8 games started, right? Jordan Reed had 80. Hold on, let me double check this before I say it. Let me double check this before I say it, before I let my fans down here. Hold on. Hold on. Give me like 5 seconds. I'm pretty sure.
5,
4. Go ahead,
4,
count down.
3.
80. So I was right. 87 receptions in 8 games with Kirk Cousins' first year as a starter. He had what he had 87 receptions and
Wait, that was
900.
the yeah, I was about to say that was the year he almost had 1,000 receiving yards, I
Yes,
think.
952 receiving yards in 8. I repeat, 8 games. Kirk Cousins was feeding Jordan Reed in 2015. 2016, he goes to the Pro Bowl. That's also I think that's the playoff year where he had over 100 receiving yards against the Packers. It was that you like that. It was the you like that season
Oh,
where we came back and
yeah.
be
You like that season.
yeah. That's when everybody was like you like that. And then we played against the Packers. The Packers beat us, and then they're talking about you like that. So they got his back on that. But I mean, once again, 2016. Once again, what he played 12 games. He started 8, and he had 66 receptions for 686 yards. And then his production went down after that. He had really had this basically 2 great years. But that was a result of Kirk Cousins. That's the Kirk Cousins effect, and I think having that great tight end in TJ Hawkinson, I mean, think about it. First game, 8 receptions, 70 yards. That means something, bro. He already got a big dog in the
Oh,
outside
yeah. Oh,
and a
yeah.
mentor and homeboy on the left, over reliable on the left other side. That is saying something. That's what this offense is predicated off of. That play action boot, yeah, he can hit Justin Jefferson on those deep bombs like you've seen against the Commanders. But nah, the real play is to that tight end. And trust me, I'm a Commanders fan. We've seen it. We had great tight ends. We've seen it. When you have a good tight end in our offense, and when Kirk Cousins was there, guess who the safety blanket was? Jordan Reed. Not Jamison Crowder, not Pierre Garcon, Jordan Reed.
Pierre
So,
Garcon.
I
Oh, my
yeah, yes,
gosh.
remember that name, huh? From Mountain
Yes.
Union, right?
Yes.
So, all I'm gonna say is, man, I really feel like TJ Hawkinson just exploded. This made this offense more explosive. Granted, they ran into a train and the Commanders' defense. I'm letting you guys know right now. The Commanders' defense aren't no slouches. Okay, they've been playing like a top defense these past 4 weeks, and they're gonna surprise a lot of people Monday night. But I'm gonna save that for later. Um, yeah, TJ Hawkinson is really about to make a big difference with his team. If they can just protect Kirk Cousins a little bit more, this offense has a chance to be very, very dangerous with Dalvin Cook already there, and he's already catching passes. I mean, I can't wait. I'm excited. I ain't gonna lie to you. I am a Kirk Cousins fan as a Commander's perspective, and I really feel like he's about to show out. I really feel like bold prediction. You know what? I'm gonna take the Vikings -3.5. I'm gonna pick a spread. I would take the or plus was it +3.5 or minus? Was it
Yeah,
plus
plus
three?
3.5.
+3. Yeah, I would take the Vikings +3.5. I honestly believe they're gonna win this game straight outright. For just some reason, they find
Whoa.
ways to win. They
Whoa.
find ways to win. They just somehow find ways to win. I feel like TJ Hawkinson is that new wrinkle in the offense they needed. This defense is playing phenomenal. Let's not forget about this defense. The defense is playing very phenomenal. That will be my upset of the week. Vikings +3.5. And they've improved to 8-1. And they will and the Bills will drop to 6-3. And now we're having questions about the Bills a little bit. This past 2 weeks, what's going on?
Wow. I don't know if I'm ready to run through a wall or not. Um, this dude, I don't know, Donnell. I don't know if that was coming from the grit in the line read or that was coming too much from the heart. Because I heard a lot of Commanders and I heard a lot of
And
subtle
he
takes. Listen, man, if you miss Kirk Cousins, just say that. If you miss
Hey,
Kirk
look, listen.
Cousins,
I don't. Cause there's one thing that motherfucker can't do. He can't win in prime time. And he sure as hell can't win the last week of the season when we need it.
hey,
He definitely lost to the Giants, a terrible Giants team in week 17. I will never forget that to miss the playoffs. But nah, I honestly see what what my man McConnell, the head coach over in Minnesota, is really doing. He's really bringing a different type of formula, that Washington formula, into the Vikings offense. And there's a reason why they're 7-1. They just find ways to win. They, I'm telling you, TJ Hawkinson. I'm telling you, TJ Hawkinson is about to be dangerous now. If you thought he was okay when in Detroit, he's about to be a monster, and he's about to eat in Minnesota. Mark my words. Just watch what I'm talking about. Watch what I say.
oh no, I agree. Not only does I think T.J. Hawkinson get a lot more volume and catches, but I think it just opens up the field for not only Justin Jefferson but also Adam Thielen. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
this this Vikings team offensively can be scary. But the easiest way to beat Kirk Cousins is play him at 4:20 or 8 o'clock, and it's a free day. Uh, oh man, but enough on the Kirk Cousins train. Let's move on to the last 1 o'clock game for this week.
Damn, I did spend a long time on that.
Boy, the Saints are traveling to Pittsburgh. Steelers are 1.5 home dogs. 40-point total in this game. Saints minus 1.5. Oh boy. Oh boy.
You playing with hot grease.
You
You
are.
playing with
You
grease.
are. You know
You playing
what?
with hot grease,
You know what
boy.
I can't stand about the Saints this year? I feel like I've always been on the wrong side of the Saints.
Side of those games, dude. Every single
Dude,
one.
every single one. I fade the Saints cover. I take the Saints have a heartbreaker at the end of the game, and the Bengals go down 50-yard pass to Jamar Chase. Fade. I take the Saints again. Boom. Cardinals. It's just I can't catch a damn break with this team. So they might be on my ban list for the rest of the year, but since I'm gonna give a lean, I think dude, you gotta take the Saints here, right? Saints like 1.5. I know they're road favorites, but 1.5 points seems really narrow. Um, Steelers obviously just lost Claypool, so they lost an offensive weapon. That was the last thing that Kenny Pickett needed, was to take some of his weapons away from him. They're talking about Najee Harris not receiving as many touches. Um, God, man, like the Steelers team is so iffy. You never really know what you're going to. They had a really competitive game against the Dolphins. Um, then they looked a fool the next week. Like, I don't know. I don't know what you get with this team. Like, the Saints defense they haven't been amazing, but they've been playing solid. Not like Kenny Pickett is, anything crazy, but like, I don't know, man. Like, are you on anything here?
You know what's crazy about it, man? And I'm absolutely kicking myself right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. So like how on Mondays, like I like to play Mondays or Tuesdays, I like to play a early bird ticket right
Yep.
off the bat. Just kind of just fresh off, start off the week with an idea of what the week's gonna look like. This week threw me off so bad. I mean, I was so scrambled, right? That I took the Saints -3 in Pittsburgh with TJ Watt coming back and some of that secondary coming back. -3. I took the Saints -3. Um, kind of kicking myself, but at the end of the day, too. I mean, if you're talking about -1.5, man, at least the Saints look formidable in some assets. You know what I'm saying? I go against the Saints one week and they blank the team I thought was gonna put up mad points against them the other week. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll never forgive the Raiders for that. I want you to know, like
That was
that's burnt
bad,
deep in
man.
my motherfucking head, boy. What? -1 Vegas -1 against that team. Oh my goodness! And you put up no points. I'm still on that. You know what? I'm a man that forgives. I move on, and I just don't know, bro. Like, I don't even want to pick the Saints because every time I pick the Saints, the opposite thing happens to you. You feel me? So I don't. I if I'm leaning, take the Saints -1.5. This Pittsburgh team just doesn't have it. I try to give my man Mike Tomlin all the benefit of the doubt. Great coach at the end of the day, but man, when you just got no talent, you really have like any talent. Talent and injuries. Let me not say no talent. It's talent and injuries as well. The secondary has been a problem for honestly a while now, to be honest with you. That secondary has not been great. It's always been about the front seven, that line, the linebackers, the line, and at least decent offense, enough offense to push the thread to push the needle a little bit. Shit, honestly, this offense looked the same as when Ben Roethlisberger was there. I mean, goddamn, I don't know what points they're producing, but eventually Kenny Pickett's gonna find it. He's not gonna find it this week though. I feel like the Saints D line is gonna apply pressure like I thought they would be doing all year long, but sometimes they're on and off. But I'm gonna bet on this Saints D line and the weapons of the Saints, man. Just think about it. You can still have Taysom Hill at quarterback alongside with Alvin Kamara on the outside or at behind running back, and still have Olave on the outside. Olave is becoming a very, very, very crucial piece for the Saints. And yeah, I'll take the money on the weapons, and I take the money on the team who's been playing at least better, and they've been playing better than the Steelers.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I think
I'll
the
take a -1.5.
I think the Steelers line has been adjusted a little bit too much for TJ Watt coming back. Like obviously he's a playmaker. There's no, there's no question about that. Um but damn, dude, the Saints the reason why I think I lean Saints is because I trust the Saints to put up points more than I trust the Steelers to put up points. Um you know, I'm not sure. Like, was it? I mean, is Andy Dalton set to start for the Saints, or are we? Is there potential that Jameis is coming back? Have you seen anything yet?
I mean, shit. I mean, I haven't seen shit, but in my mind, shit, you might as well put Jameis out there. I'm tired of seeing this shit. I mean, it gets to it gets to the point, man, where it's like, damn, Jameis played bad, but damn, and Dillon has a good week, but then now he's playing bad. So what do you do? I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see anything, and I'm gonna trust me. I'm gonna keep my eyes on that. Trust me, because my ticket's on the line here, so I'm gonna need to know who the hell gonna play quarterback. But man,
I don't
I don't
know.
know. Who do you I'm sorry. I think the better question is, who do you think should play?
Who do
Who
I
do you
think
think
should
should play?
play? 100%
Yes.
Jameis Winston. 100%.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
I
you,
I
man.
mean, not only is Jameis Winston, in my opinion, better, I feel like long term he's a better answer than Andy Dalton. I mean, I don't understand. I don't know, man. I don't
How
know.
many
Um,
how,
dude, I just
how many weeks
mm,
did Jameis truly have to play?
wasn't it like 2 or 1,
Three, two,
3,
three
somewhere in
games?
there? You
Two
know,
or three games? But Andy Dalton can get more of a shake and more of an evaluation with 7,
well,
8 games.
I know. Jameis has been
Taysom Hill
dealing with,
did play a
yeah,
couple.
Taysom Hill, but he didn't start. Like he just kind of gets in there. But like, you got remember Jameis Winston kind of went down with the injury, and then Andy Dalton came in. Like, are the Saints probably trying to tank? Yeah, they probably most likely because that's where they're struggling right now is quarterback. They have weapons: Kamara, Olave, Marquez Callaway. Jawan Johnson's not bad. Like they got weapons. Taysom Hill, X Factor kind of guy. Like their defense isn't terrible. Um, I don't know. When it comes to points, I just think you kind of got to go with, especially in a like basically a 1.5 point spread. You kind of got to go with the team you trust to put up points more, and that team is definitely the Saints. Their defense can kind of keep them in the game, and if you say who is more likely to put up 24 points, it's absolutely the Saints. Not only did
No
the
doubt,
the
my boy.
Steelers just lose Chase Claypool, but uh running back wise, Najee Harris can't get a freaking yard. The offensive line has been pitiful. Kenny Pickett is running for his life. At least Kamara can catch it out of the backfield and get shifty. Najee Harris is not nearly as shifty as Kamara, and especially if they're talking about cutting down Najee Harris's touches, um, it's you gotta got the Saints see like the safer side, but I don't know. We're gonna have to get some more information on this before I kind of like take a stronger stance. But I think we both would be leaning the Saints in this predicament.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Yeah.
so let's move on to the 2 4 o'clock games. We have the God, this is so ugly. The Indianapolis Colts heading to the Las Vegas Raiders. I can't tell what's more disgusting: the Colts getting 6 points against the Raiders, or the Raiders laying 6 points against the Colts. The total for this
Hey,
game
let
is
me tell you.
42.5 points. Um, God,
Hey,
dude.
yo, Vegas. Hey, Vegas. Hey, yo, that's a big fuck you. This is a big fuck you. I mean, I wanna be very, very clear. I'm gonna be very, very clear here. The Raiders have been piss poor and abysmal these past 2 weeks. They scored no points against a team who gives up damn near 30. And then they turn around, have a 20 the 0.20 to 0 lead against the Jacksonville Jaguars. You give up 27 unanswered points, lose 27-24, and you expect me to take a -6.5 against the Indianapolis Colts? And then you're gonna turn around. I said, you're gonna expect me to take a +6.5 against a Colts team who got absolutely derailed by Bill Belichick and the Patriots with actual talent. They have talent. That defense has talent. That offense has talent. Granted, Jonathan Taylor didn't play, but you got your ass spanked by 20, 23, 26 to Bill Belichick and that offense right now.
This game
This game, this
is
game, this game
so
is awful to
ugly.
begin with. This game is awful to begin with. I don't know who I can't even lean. I don't even know where to
Dude,
lean. Like if I lean
lean
left,
with it,
I'm a
rock with it.
rock with
I
it.
ain't
Right.
snapping with it. I ain't doing shit with it. I ain't touching a
Then
side. The only thing that I can recommend to these teams is you know what the Raiders need to do before this game?
what do they need to do? What do they need to do?
They need to fire Josh McDaniels and hire Frank Reich and have Frank Reich coach against the Colts, and I'll take the Raiders -6. That's the only reason that's the only way I'd touch this game. That's the only way I'm touching this
Wow.
game. You want me to bet on the Raiders, who can't score a damn point in the second half, or a point versus the Saints, versus, or do you want me to take the Colts +6 with Jeff Saturday leading the pack? Man, give me a break. Give me a break.
yo,
Homie,
yo,
homie got finished recording an episode on ESPN, and now he's out there trying to coach the Colts that can't get the ball past the 50-yard line. What are we talking about?
that man 2 weeks ago said, "Man, the Raiders suck." Here we are 2 weeks later. He's like, "Oh shit, I got to coach
Wait,
against
I
the
mean,
Raiders."
they
Like,
all
what the
right. They
hell?
all right. Yeah, it's like that. I'm seriously, dude. The Raiders should fire Josh McDaniels right now and hire Frank Reich. If they, I mean,
Dude,
the Josh McDaniels is a
I
joke. At least Frank Reich
joke,
got to kind of get a fresh start. He
joke.
gets a quarterback. He's got some weapons. Offensive line is decent, but like, I don't want any part of this game, dude. I don't want to watch this game. It's a 4 o'clock game. There's only 2 games on. I don't want to touch this game. I think we can just go ahead and we're going to use our pass this week. We're not going to. I don't even want to give a side because I don't want to sound stupid saying it, because any side
You know
that
what?
comes out of my mouth is barfable.
Like you know what's crazy about it? Okay, here's the storyline. Basically, you pick the Raiders, right? I'm sorry. You pick the Colts, and the Raiders win. You get told, "You dumb motherfucker," that they just got a new coach. The interim coach has never coached a day in his life. Why would you trust that? And then there's the other side. I picked the Colts 6.5. I mean, I picked the Raiders. No, I picked the Raiders -6.5, and the Colts win. And then the center is like, well, the coach is just as bad. We haven't even seen Jeff Saturday yet, and I'm already done with Josh McDaniels. So Jeff Saturday got to be better than Josh McDaniels. Like you get what I'm saying? Like it's no matter what side you pick, if you end up on the wrong side, you look stupid.
Yeah.
Vegas is not making me look stupid this week. I'm gonna keep my monies. All right, and you can keep this fucking game and go fuck yourself with it. That is so stupid. This six and a half, bro, on both sides is terrible. I'm not taking either or. I can't lean.
See,
In fact, what's the over and under?
42.5.
I don't want to take that shit. I
Yeah,
don't know what
it's
the
just
Colts going to
nothing sounds good.
do.
Like, generally, when there's a coach firing, the favorites get inflated. So, like, realistically, the Raiders should probably be 4.5, maybe 5-point favorites, because the underdogs are getting inflated from the home side. Now the underdogs get an extra point or two of value, but like 6 points doesn't see enough for the Colts. And you're asking me to basically lay a touchdown with the Raiders. Yeah, bro, just keep me off this game. But there will be one game that I will be watching at 4 o'clock on Sunday, and that is the Dallas Cowboys traveling to Lambeau Field to face the Packers. Packers +5.5 at home. Total for the
Oh,
game is 43.
oh Lord.
I'm going against every single person
Oh,
betting on Sunday.
okay.
And let me just
What
say
you gonna
this.
do?
You're giving me Aaron Rodgers at home and 5.5 points. Mike
Here we
McCarthy's
go with this shit.
emotional ass heading back to Green
Here we
Bay when they
go.
asked him, "Hey, how do you think about Green Bay?" Oh, he started kind of getting teary-eyed and thinking about all the good memories. Well, I'll tell you what, Mike McCarthy, you're not going to have a good memory after Sunday, because you're going to get your ass spanked and lose outright. And the Green Bay Packers are not only going to cover that 5.5, I guarantee. Okay, let me not take that far. I don't guarantee. I would not be surprised if the Packers win this damn game. I would not be surprised. This is such a letdown spot for
You
the
know what?
Cowboys. And let me just say this before I let you go. Number one, I don't even have to look at it. I know the public is hammering this Cowboys -5.5. Oh, let me get it before it goes to 6. Oh, let me get it before it goes. Fuck that. Number two, this will be the
He said,
first.
"Fuck that."
This will be the first button that everybody clicks for their money line parlays. And on top of that, this will be the first button that everybody clicks for their teasers this week. Do not get sucked into the trap. This is where Vegas makes their money. they could lose every other single public side this week, and there will be so much money, so many tickets on the Cowboys, and when the Cowboys don't cover and potentially lose this game, don't don't come back to me on Monday and say, "Damn, you were right," because I told you so. And I'm just going to lay that out there right now. What would you like to say?
Well, damn, coach. You was very passionate over there, weren't you? God damn. You was passionate even saying the goddamn game. I was like, oh Lord, where does energy come from? I mean, god damn. All I'm gonna say is this, man. Woo boy. Y'all hear this motherfucker? This motherfucker sound like a genius, right? What's crazy about it, right? What's crazy about it is if I'm leaning towards anything, I'm definitely leaning Cowboys -5. All right. Yeah, I am the public. The public, I am him. All right. Public is me. Me. I am public. Okay. I hate the Dallas Cowboys with every bone in my body, but I will take them -5 before I take Aaron Rodgers plus anything right now. All right. I get it. I get this little soliloquy, this little haiku you just made about Aaron Rodgers and the plus and all this and that, Mike McCarthy, this and the fourth, da da da. Man, let's be real. Let's me and you, all right. It's not even a podcast. Me and you, right?
I'm here.
How many points did Aaron Rodgers put up against the Detroit Lions last week?
Don't matter. It don't matter.
Don't do that.
You know what?
Don't do that.
You know what?
Don't do that.
Okay, let's just think about this. Okay, let's just think about this. Patriots, good team, right? Really good defense, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Packers put up 27. Giants,
Uh-huh.
buzzing team, right? Solid defense. Defense have been playing bad. Packers put up 22. Okay. The Jets, we know what happened with the Jets. It was turnover galore. They were snapping the ball over Aaron Rodgers' head. They couldn't run the ball for shit. Okay, Packers put up 10 points. They turn around. They face the Commanders. Commanders, solid defense. This is where the Commanders started their streak. Commanders come from behind win, because let's not forget, the Packers were winning that whole game pretty much. Commanders come from behind and win. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Packers put up 21 points. They lost 23-21. The Bills. Aaron Rodgers had a rough first half. They couldn't run the ball for nothing, but what does Aaron Rodgers do in the second half? He turns up. The Packers score in the second half. They score 10 points to the Bills 3 in the second half. They lose 17-27. But that right there alone, that second half versus the Bills, made me realize like Aaron Rodgers still has something there. He still has something there. We got to remember last week, Lazard dropped 2 passes, 2 big passes, a first down, and then 1 in the red zone. He dropped 2 big passes. He had a deflection off a helmet. That was an interception in the red zone. They ran a trick play for David Bakhtiari. That's how desperate Matt LaFleur was in the red zone. They run a fake handoff, turn around, and Aaron Rodgers throws it up, but Bakhtiari can't get no steam going nowhere. So what does he do? He has to throw it short. Aiden Hutchinson intercepts it. Okay? He throws a great back shoulder pass to Lazard. Lazard gets into the end zone. But this was just a product of the Packers could not run the ball. Aaron Rodgers was the leading rusher in this game. He had 40 rushing yards on 4 attempts. He scrambled 4 times and was running for an average of 10 yards. A.J. Dillon had 11 carries for 34 yards. Aaron Jones had 9 carries for 25 yards. And you don't think Aaron Rodgers has his game circled? He's facing Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, Mr. Mismanaged every single big game he's ever been in his entire life. Single-handedly will not let that team pass the first round of the playoffs because he has piss-poor clock management and decision-making. Mike McCarthy is not a winning head coach. And when we got Zeke Elliott back, and what happens to Tony Pollard when Zeke's back? He takes away from his carries. Guess who's a better halfback than Zeke Elliott? His name is Tony Pollard. Unfortunately, he's undershadowed because they're paying Zeke all that money. Zeke is going to come back in and sabotage this offense, and the Packers are going to roll. I'm not kidding. The Packers, this game should be Packers +3. We're getting an extra 2.5, and this might go to Packers +6. If the Packers go +6, I'm going to drop an unresponsible amount of units on this, and my God, it could be ugly, but I'm telling you, when Monday comes, I might look like the biggest genius in sports betting history because I will be against everybody.
All right. You done? You done? You good?
You know what?
Yeah, you drink. Yeah,
Yes.
take some water. Take some water. Take a sip of water.
You know, I just drank that Dallas Cowboys. Give me a break.
Ooh. Okay, listen. All right, all right. So here's what I'm gonna say to that, right? Whew. All right. So let's go back to your sequence, right? You said you start off with Bill Belichick and the Patriots, right? They said 27 points. Cool. Fair shot, right? Then you said the next week they played the Giants. They went from 27 to 22. So you then year after that you went against the Jets team. Went from 22 to 10. Then they went from the Jets, from the Jets to the Commanders. They put up 21 points. They went okay. They went back up. Then against the Bills, they put up 17. They went back down. Then from 17 against the Bills from 17 points, they played the Detroit Lions. And you just said they were 27th in defensive rushing, like wait, in DVO and rushing,
Yep.
right? Is that what you said?
Yep.
And they have Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. They put up 9 points, which is the lowest total all year. All year. Against probably one of the worst defenses in the league. You know what's funny? This is starting to remind me of the fucking Raiders. The Raiders. I don't even want to talk about this now. This is remind me of the goddamn Raiders, right? You know, this explosive offense supposed to be. The Raiders were the number 3 offense in the league points wise, and they ended up laying a goose egg against the damn against I don't know against the team name again against the Patriots, right? 24-0, something like that. I'm sorry, the Saints, 24-0. Give me something to believe in. My MVP Hall of Fame quarterback. Granted, yes, some misfortunes. You threw what 3 picks in the red zone, man?
2 in the red zone. One was not his fault. And the other
2
one was a botched play call by Matt LaFleur because he's a
Okay.
freaking idiot.
Okay, so that's even a more reason why I don't even believe in it. It's Matt LaFleur. We talked about Matt LaFleur. Okay, he is. You want to talk about boy, Miss Mike? Trust me, I don't like the Cowboys one bit. I do think Zeke is a little overrated, and he's definitely overpaid. I feel like the 1-2 punch with him and Pollard is what makes it work. I feel like Pollard kind of needs Zeke in a way to get the most of the load of the carries, and then Zeke needs the pop plays from Pollard. I think they both coexist. Yeah, this is both. To be honest with you, this is both games where the coaching is just bad. I don't think Matt LaFleur is a terrible coach, but he is coaching bad right now. He's not understanding matchups whatsoever. How many rushing yards? Like you said, Aaron Rodgers, the leading rusher. At 37 years old, Aaron Rodgers was the leading rusher to a team that is 27th in rushing and DVO rating. That is too alarming.
Okay. All right. Let me stop you here. Okay. See, this is the difference between me and you. You're going to look at that score. You're going to
Okay.
look at the score and say, oh my God, the Packers only put up 9 points versus the Lions. You're right. They put up 9 points, but the Packers had almost 150 more yards of total offense. They ran 12 more plays. They averaged a yard and 1.1 extra yards per play. They had 160 more passing yards. They only had 10 less rushing yards. They got into the end zone the red zone 2 more times than the Lions, and they had almost 10 minutes more of possession on the clock. Statistically, the Packers dominated that game. They had poor red zone calls, which cost them. The Packers should have had 3 touchdowns extra in that game. They should have had 21 extra points. That game should have finished 30-15 the Packers. They had bad play calls in the red zone. They tried to get cute. They had drop passes. That's what I'm looking at. This line is inflated when statistically the Packers didn't play as bad as the number shows last week. That's the difference. You see what I'm saying? There is so much more behind these stats that I'm seeing as to why the Packers number is inflated when this number should really be 2.5, 3 points, because you're giving me Packers, Aaron Rodgers at home, and he's getting 5.5 points against a wishy-washy Cowboys offense. I don't care, dude. I don't care. I don't care. I'm all over this Packers plus 5.5. You just this is a bet like, and even if this bet loses, like I know I'm chatting, but even if this bet loses, when else do we get to have Aaron Rodgers plus 5.5? We haven't had a spread this
You know
large at
what?
Lambeau Field since 2013. You don't think he
Great,
gets up for these games? You
great,
don't think he
good.
dude, it's the
Right.
Lions. Who cares? Okay? It's the Lions. Who cares? It's the Jets. Who cares? It's Washington Commanders. Who cares? It's the Giants. Who cares? You know when he played his best game of the year and they lost in overtime? I mean, they won in overtime? The freaking Patriots. He went up there. A lot of people were all over on the Patriots that week. What does Aaron Rodgers do? He goes out and finds a way to win that game. This is a different type of game. This is a different type of game environment. He went out there versus the Bills, and the Bills that wasn't necessarily on the Packers offense. You know, Josh Allen went out there and dominated that first half. He was doing whatever he wanted. And it's hard when you let up like 20 points in the first half. That's hard. That's a difficult place, especially on the road.
Yeah.
We're at home, baby. We're
Mhm.
in Lambeau Field. That's the difference.
Hey, look. You know what? Here's what I'm gonna say to you. All right, now I'm done talking about it. Put your money where your mouth is.
I will.
All right,
There will be money on
put
this.
your money
There
where your
will be
mouth
money
is.
on this. Don't
You know
worry.
what? Where my wallet at? Man, let me take this money out now. I will bet you 50 that not only that the Cowboys.
Can't bet each other.
Holy
Can't bet each
shit!
other. Can't bet each other.
No, nope, nope. You know what? Nah, never mind. I wouldn't want to do that against Dallas anyway. Why would I ever bet on Dallas?
Hey,
Why would I ever do a
let's
straight single
okay.
bet with my friend on Dallas? I'm
We'll
not
end it
doing
on
that.
this. We'll end it on this. Everything I just said, you can't tell me that didn't make you a little bit more uneasy on the Cowboys. Let's be real.
Why would I be dude? The difference, like you told me about the difference between you and me. The difference between me and you now is, bro. I'm going with I live in like this is reality, dude. Like I get it. There's motivation. All right. Every game
It's
has a little
not
bit
the
of motivation. This
motivation
has even
though.
more
He just
motivation.
Aaron
What
Rodgers
is it?
steps up to the bigger games. He does it statistically. These shitty games where they lose, Aaron Rodgers still has really good stats. It's these play calls. But when the Packers play better teams, they come up to like they play down to their competition, and that's been their problem this year. They've just been playing down to their competition, but when they have a good game, for some reason they arise to the occasion. And the really only solid team that they've played with historical, performance is the Patriots, and they won that game. They won. That's all I'm saying. I just
4 weeks ago.
that's but still it is what it is. They're getting healthier.
Oh man.
They're getting healthier.
Yeah.
Like
I don't see it.
Bakhtiari's coming back. Jair Alexander's playing great defense. They intercepted Josh Allen twice in the second half. Like back-to-back drives. Like there's just more behind this that I see, and I just think that 5.5 point it just don't make sense to me. That's all I'm gonna say. I could sound like a really big idiot on Monday, or I'm gonna sound like the biggest genius, but we'll find out. Enough. We'll let the game decide. It is what it is. Let's move on
Boy.
to the last
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
Let's move
yeah.
on to the last game.
Go ahead.
Uh
Come on. What's the
Chargers
last game?
+7 heading to San Fran -7. Total for this game is 45.5 points. Sunday night football. My friend, do the honors. What is your lean on Sunday night football?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you this right now, man. Ever since the 49ers got Christian McCaffrey, I'm taking the spread on anything. This team, I mean, this is not my lock, of course, because -7 is quite a bit of points. But this team is loaded. It is phenomenal now. You ever wonder what life is like to have one Debo Samuel? Could you ever imagine two of them bitches? Two Debo Samuels, bro. That's basically what they have. They have versatility all through the field. McCaffrey can be at running back while Debo Samuels on the outside. Debo can be on part of the Debo package going in the backfield. McCaffrey can go on the outside. They can have Debo on the wide, going wide on the wide as the wide receiver. They can throw McCaffrey in the slot and have Ayuk on the outside and still run my man Elijah Mitchell in the back. What like There is so and it still have Kittle. I didn't even bring up Kittle. This team is loaded. If you want to talk about a team like that could possibly even compete against the Bills or any other team in the world, I honestly believe, other than the Chiefs, I honestly believe this San Francisco team is now built. Just with that one addition with Christian McCaffrey, have a chance to keep up with any team, with anybody, and really run the table here. I'm going to be heavy on the 49ers for now on, depending on what the spreads are. Um, let's look at it like this, man. Running backs. The running back is now solidified. That's an A. Receivers, A and B. You know, you got an A and a B. Tight end, A. Quarterback is a C. But we seen C's work before. We seen C's get to the Super Bowl before. He did get to the Super Bowl before. O line, tremendous. Trent Williams on the left tackle is tremendous, as the best as it gets. Switch to the defensive side. D line, amazing. They bring pressure. They stop the run. Linebackers, Fred Warner in the middle. Like the secondaries, yes, the secondary is decent as well. Not too many big names, but this how can you look at any 49ers game from now on and don't just second guess yourself? Why am I not taking the 49ers here? Granted, let me not get ahead of myself. I am a little old school when it comes to shit. I gotta see it first. Just like how I said, I have to see what the Bengals offense look like without Jamar Chase that first week. You're right. Let me take a step back. Let me see a little bit more consistency from this team. But I would gladly, kindly lean towards the 49ers -7 here.
Give me the Chargers +7. Primetime game.
Uh-huh.
Justin Herbert's going to swing it. He throws the hell out of the ball, too. You got Austin Eckler.
To who? Other than, okay, who else?
I don't care who else. Chargers +7. Listen, dude. Listen, dude. We don't like the
Geez.
Chargers as a favorite. We like the Chargers as an underdog. Not only are they an underdog, they're a touchdown underdog on prime time. You know what happens on prime time? Games go under. Okay? You know what happens to
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan in
Trends,
prime
boy.
time, big favorites? He collapses for some reason.
Mr.
Traditionally, this 49ers team should blow out this Chargers team. But for some reason, Kyle Shanahan, prime time, big favorite, he collapses. He collapses. He always does. And I would not be surprised if the Chargers cover this number just because 7 points in a primetime game is a lot. And, this Chargers team is, gosh, man, they've got the talent. The only thing that just pisses me off about this team is, number one, their injuries, and number two, their coach. That's why this number's so inflated.
Staley.
Staley. That's why this number's so inflated. Like, I 100% get why you're on this 49ers +7 or -7. It's just, it seems like a good spot. But, like, Sunday Night Football, prime time, like, I don't know, dude. I just have too many flashbacks of the 49ers underperforming in prime time. I don't know. It's stuck in my head. I don't know, dude. This just screams a 49ers letdown spot. I don't know. I got to look into this a little bit more. It's ultimately going to come down this injury news. Okay.
Yeah, because Debo was out last week, wasn't he?
Yeah, Debo was out last week, and we still got to figure out what the hell's going on with all these Chargers receivers. They still have Eckler. I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, I'll just have to look into it a little bit more. But like right now, dude, I'm eyeing that Chargers +7. It looks so tasty. I don't know why. Um, but you know what? We will figure that out more on Saturday. This has been a longer episode. We got into some. I'll tell you what. On Preview Thursday, this is probably the most in-depth we went in with each of these games. We gave some pretty strong leans, but obviously, per usual, these are no official picks. Our official picks will be given out on Saturday's episode. So, take a
Hey,
lot of
Jack,
this.
hold on.
Don't think these are like hardcore leans. These are basically line reads right now. A lot of these lines could move, so we'll have all the updated lines, some injury news and starter news, all that on Saturday, and that's when we will give our official picks. But I'll tell you what, man. Me and you are on the opposite side of the fence for a lot of these games this week. One of us is going to have a good week. That's all I know.
Right.
One of us is going to have a good week.
Hey,
What?
hey, hold on, real quick. We forgot one game. If you want to get this, if you just want to get the leans real quick for this one game, we ain't got to really describe it, but it's basically it's an ugly game. Cardinals against Rams at 425. We didn't bring that up. Either way, I'm not taking anything from that. My lean, honestly, I mean, you know what's funny? Both quarterbacks are out. I think both quarterbacks are on the injury report. I think Kyler has a concussion, and Matthew Stafford might be out as
Dude,
well.
this is
This
a
is
joke.
ugly. Yeah, we're not. Yeah, this is a joke. We're never going to touch
You know what?
that.
Maybe
Um,
no, I totally did forget this on the run sheet, but maybe that was for good
it probably
reason
wasn't worth
because
talking
who the
about.
hell wants to talk about this
Yeah,
shitty ass
exactly.
game?
He wants to. You know what? Good point. On that note, take it away.
Hey,
Take it away.
yeah,
Take it away.
yeah.
Take it away.
I'm not even looking at this game right now. Oh my god, this is ugly. No Matthew Stafford and no Kyler Murray potentially. If we do have a pick with this, we'll cover this on Saturday. But we don't want to
Yes,
talk.
yes,
We
yes,
don't
sir.
want to talk about the battle of the preseason quarterbacks. So we'll give ourselves a little break on this one. We had a longer episode. So that'll do it for us. Dino, great discussions. We will see
Yes,
how this
sir.
tails
Yes,
out on
sir.
Saturday. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
there'll be a little bit of fence hopping. We'll see. We'll see how these numbers play out. We'll make our official picks Saturday. We'll do our best to stay hot. This is definitely going to be a sharp week. It's a difficult week. But
Damn right.
as always, this has been Preview Thursday, episode 14,
Thursday.
week 10 of the NFL. This thing is flying. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be a friend, tell a friend. If you didn't enjoy it, we'll just act like this never happened. But we will be back on Saturday to make our official picks going for 3 winning weeks in a row.
Big
Dino,
locks, man. Big locks.
we'll be back Saturday. We will get our picks in.
Yes,
And
indeed. You know I'm coming
oh
back.
yeah, we need you back, man. We need you back. Stay hot.
Yeah,
We
come on.
I'm gonna be like Dexter, man. Got to get in the lab. Got a couple more days. Let's bring
Uh-huh.
up some winners on Saturday. Let's bring up some winners on
That's
Saturday.
shoot. You already know.
Um,
You already know we want. You know that's what we about. That's what we about, man.
yeah. So we'll be back on Saturday. Thank you so much for listening to Preview Thursday, episode 14.
Right.
We'll be back on Saturday. So we'll see y'all in the next one. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, bye bye. See y'all later, man. Enjoy.